Um, Welcome to this Mind with Heart guided exercise. The title is Educating the Heart. So we'll just have a couple of minutes of me, chatting, and then after a few minutes, we'll do an exercise which is designed to help cultivate the heart. So last time we looked at what we mean by the heart and this sense of connection that we have, or that we naturally have with others, and how this sense of connection or feeling level of connecting with others can be educated. So the default level we defined last time as being contagion, and it can then go backwards into emotional cutoff from others. And then, on the contrary, it can also be developed into empathy and compassion. 3 weeks ago, after the last time I was speaking, my name's David, by the way, I was speaking on Facebook Live, and since then, as I'm sure you have, I've been reflecting a little bit on prejudice. It's sort of taken over our whole world over the past few weeks. So what do we mean by that? Prejudice, prejudging. You judge someone before you get to know them or get to know everything about them. So what that sort of what that feels like is there's me over here, and then there's this other group or over there, and there's a sort of a barrier between us. And we make this barrier on the basis of any sort of different sorts of criteria. So it could be ethnicity or religion, these are the classics, sex, sexual orientation, nationality, age, many things, even the football team we support. So what's happening is there's me and my team over here, my group, that I basically like and I want to do well. And then there's the others over there who, maybe I don't really care about so much, or I may even have an active dislike towards them. So this is basically very dualistic. Me and mine versus the rest. And what we're doing here is we're focusing on the differences that there is. So the differences between myself and my group and the others. So the question then becomes, okay, how can cultivating the heart help with this situation? And the answer to that is that it's almost like we have this circle of care. Yeah, it could be very small, like just around me, or it could be extended to like my family or my friends and family, and we have this circle of care. And cultivating the heart, essentially, one of its avenues is to extend this circle of care. So to extend the circle, widen this sphere. Now, this might sound easy. In fact, of course, it's very easy to say something like, all people are equal, or I care for everybody. But actually, it's not so easy to feel that. And so the first thing that we need to do when we're educating the heart is take stock or acknowledge where we are right now. What are the blockages that we impose to extending this circle of care? And once we've identified these sort of limits, if you like, well, I care for this, but then not for that, or these people are not for those, then once we have established our limits, and we all have them, unless we're, incredibly exceptional, then we can start sort of nudging and pushing out and extending this circle. And to do that, we can actually train, we can exercise, we can cultivate gradually this experience of extending the frontiers of our care. So let's do that. I invite you to adopt a comfortable posture. So whatever you've been doing, whether you've been having lunch or whatever, just taking a moment now to establish some stillness in the body with the back straight. And breathing naturally. Maybe the mouth slightly open and just breathing out through the mouth. And then with the mind, I invite you to become curious about where you're saying my, and I'm saying my, where my barriers are. What are the blockages that I put up between myself and others? So, for example, it could be based on age, like I identify with people my age but not so much others, or my ethnicity and not so much others, or my religion and not so much others, or my football team and not so much others. Just take a moment to reflect on any of these limitations that we have. And of course, we're doing this in a spirit towards ourselves of being non-judgmental, but also a spirit of curiosity, like we're looking towards how we can cultivate certain qualities of mind and heart. And then let's pick one person, one specific individual, like we did last week. We did this exercise called Just Like Me. So let's pick one individual person who possibly is on the edge or on the other side of this barrier, this frontier that we have between my team and the others. So it could be somebody, for example, in your work or your school. You know their face, maybe their name, but you don't really care so much about them. You don't really think about them that much. Could be something like that. Or if you're feeling a little bit more brave, then maybe someone who you actively have a little bit of a challenge with. So let's say you're an Arsenal supporter or something. So you pick someone who supports Tottenham, or whatever you've identified as being your boundary. Just pick someone who's on the other side of that. So picking one person, one specific person. And then I invite you to consider the following phrases. So first of all, getting a sense of the presence of this person in your mind's eye. Imagining where they live, making their presence sort of 3D. And now considering the following phrases. Just like me, this person has a body with certain needs and difficulties. Just like me, this person can communicate. They have a voice. Just like me, They have something to say. And just like me, this person has a mind. They can think and feel. Just like me, they have attitudes and beliefs. And just like me, their attitudes and beliefs not the whole world doesn't share. Just like me, this person has memories of the past, painful memories, pleasurable memories. And just like me, this person has aspirations for the future. Basically, just like me, they want to be more and more happy, more and more fulfilled, flourishing. And as we continue, so let's let that the image of that person